Hey guys, No Name Trapper here with you today. Today's video is going to be about the fur market. There's a lot going on in the fur market, and there's a lot not going on in the fur market. And today I'm just going to take some time, break down the basics. I hope this information helps somebody out. And let's hang in there and hope for a rebound, guys. All right, guys. First thing you need to do when considering the fur market is break down your state and what are the main fur bearing animals in your state. Here you see I've taken the time and I've broken it down by animal, and you see how it's in a circle. That's because I believe there's a rotation on this. It's a hard problem to solve, but the main goal here is to be set up to switch to any of these animals at any time before they run hot, which is before the price goes up. All right, here you guys see that I went ahead and I marked the animals that the fur buyers are putting out are going to be worth money. Skunk, beaver, otter, and bobcats. That's what I have in Iowa that's going to be worth money supposedly this season. Okay. Skunk and beaver have dollar signs by them. Okay. Otter and bobcat have down arrows. So the reason the otter and the bobcat have down arrows on them is because I can't do anything about that really in the state of Iowa, right? I'm limited to 3 per license holder on those 2 animals. Okay, so unless I'm thinking about state hopping, which has a whole nother set of expenses, and I'm not quite set up to do yet, those 2 are out. So at this point, we narrow in on the only 2 I can, which is beaver and skunk. Beaver in the fall in Iowa are hard to chase numbers. All right, so I'll hit up the spring season for beaver. Skunk, they den up when winter hits, so you're gonna have to hit them early mid fall. So those are my only 2 options here in Iowa, right? So, anyways, you see this rotation, and it doesn't always just follow this rotation, right, guys? But I need to be in the center. I need to be ready to catch any of these animals and catch them in numbers to play the new market game that we play. And then we go a step further. The next thing you need to consider is your populations. Just because you have these animals don't mean you can put these animals up in numbers. Some of the numbers are low for certain species. For instance, these 3 right here in Iowa, I consider very high. Badgers, consider somewhat medium level numbers wise. Beaver, I'd consider us above average but not high. Muskrat, it depends on your area. It varies by area quite a bit here in Iowa. I'd say I'm just under average to the lower end. Otter and mink, I would say I'm high on population. Fox, red fox, gray's very, very low. Red fox is pretty low still. I mean, we have an okay amount, but it's really low. Bobcat, I'd say we've got a pretty decent population, but we've got limits on some of these animals here in Iowa. Coyotes, extremely high, but they're not worth a lot, right? So now we're going to break it down into populations. What populations are high in your location, right? We broke it down by the market and what they're saying they want. Now we broke it down by what can you do with those populations in your state, or do you need to state hop? All right, now comes the part where you got to put in the work. What resources does the anatomy of each animal provide? I believe, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, that the skunk and the beaver probably offer the 2 most potential, right? And that's probably why their markets are pretty good. Also, they're a little more difficult to get and use those resources. So now it's up to you to go through each of these animals that you have in your area, break down the anatomy of them, and find the markets. Find the markets, find what's worth money, and go from there, guys. I'm not going to break them all down for you. I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. And the rest, go do your research on this, okay? Because each of these animals, even in a down market, provides opportunity based on their own anatomy. All right, guys, so I broke this down in a way that has made it easier for me. You got to figure out who's buying what. Who's your buyer? What do they want? What can you provide? So you got to start making some phone calls, searching for these markets, right? And then you got to realize bulk and quality is the game. I mean, if you've got bulk or quality or both, that's the winner. You got to factor in your time. Let's say you got to skin these animals, and then you got to take other parts out or do something like that. You got to factor in your time for those. And then you got to realize fur may not be the primary cash nowadays, right? It's a different game nowadays to make money. And you got to understand how much are you willing to contribute time-wise. And if you're just doing this for a hobby, right, like you can factor in some of this, but you don't have to get this involved in it. You can just go out there and have some fun. If you want to make some cash with it, you got to put in more work. I mean, it's just, it's sad. It is the way it is. I miss the days where, there were multiple buyers in each town. But I mean, theft was up back then too. But I mean, money was involved. Now you got to do stuff like this. Well, guys, that was a quick video. I'm sick and stuck at home. Can't do much. So I hope that helped out. Please hit like and subscribe. Spread the word. I'm here to help however I can. It's a rough market. If this gets you started, that's great. And just be aware, these markets also get flooded. So, don't count on them, and don't put all your stock on all your eggs in one basket. Don't do that. It'll bite you. Okay? So, appreciate you all, and tight chains out there.